Have you ever stopped to think that some of the most impressive constructions in human history are not found only in engineering books or modern museums, but recorded in a book written thousands of years ago? The Bible speaks of colossal works built in ancient times, without technology, without machines, without modern calculations. Constructions that challenge human logic and continue to intrigue scholars to this day. Some were built with unimaginable wealth. Others collapsed in inexplicable ways. And there are those that science tries to explain, but still cannot. Today, you will discover the greatest biblical constructions, the secrets they hide, and what archaeology and history say about each one of them. And pay close attention. The last construction on this list brings a message that can completely change the way you see your faith. Stay with me until the end. Now imagine building a gigantic ship, without cranes, without engines, without electric tools, only with wood, human strength, and unshakable faith. That is exactly what Noah did. In a time marked by corruption and violence, God chooses a single man for an impossible mission: to build a colossal refuge, to save his family and preserve life on earth. For decades, Noah cut wood, made joints, raised structures, while being ridiculed by everyone around him. No one believed. No one understood. The ark was not small. It had gigantic proportions, comparable to a modern cargo ship, fully sealed to withstand the force of the waters. And now think with me, how did someone without technology manage to plan something so precise? How did he organize animals, food, ventilation, and stability in a construction of that size? Was this story just a myth? Interestingly, geological studies indicate massive ancient floods in the region of Mesopotamia, and throughout the 20th century, expeditions reported formations on Mount Ararat that resemble the hull of an enormous vessel. Science still debates, but faith remains firm, and this tension between faith and reason leads us to the next impressive construction. Now imagine a city surrounded by walls so thick that they seemed impossible to bring down, a fortress that inspired fear simply by existing. That was Jericho. For the people of Israel, newly out of the desert after years of wandering, Jericho was an insurmountable obstacle. But God did not order a military attack. He ordered something completely different. For 6 days, the people marched around the city in silence. On the 7th day, they made 7 laps, blew trumpets, and shouted with all their strength. And then, something extraordinary happened. The walls simply collapsed. Decades later, archaeologists found impressive ruins in Jericho. And the most curious detail, the walls fell from the inside outward, as if they had collapsed all at once. Some scholars speak of earthquakes, others speak of coincidence. But the question remains, how did everything happen exactly at the moment the trumpet sounded? If this part has already surprised you, what comes next is even more grand. Imagine a building so sacred that its walls reflected sunlight like pure gold. A place built not only for people, but to house the presence of God. This was Solomon's temple. Each stone was carved with millimetric precision. No tool made noise at the construction site. Everything followed a divine order. The interior was overlaid with gold. Cherubim, flowers, and sacred symbols covered every detail. At the center, the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant was kept. When the temple was inaugurated, something supernatural happened. A cloud filled the place. Fire came down from heaven, and the people understood that God had accepted that house. But that glory would not last forever. And this leads us to one of the most mysterious constructions in the Bible, Now imagine a world where all humanity speaks the same language. No barriers, no divisions, all united in a single purpose: to build a tower so high that it would reach the heavens. But this work was not driven by faith. It was driven by human pride. It was an attempt at self-exaltation. Then something unexpected happened. Languages were confused, communication was broken, and the construction stopped. In ancient Mesopotamia, there were gigantic ziggurats, temples shaped like step towers. One of them was known as the house that connects heaven and earth. Coincidence? Or a historical memory preserved through the centuries? The Tower of Babel leaves us with a clear lesson. When man tries to take the place of God, everything collapses, and this leads us to the last great construction. After the exile, the temple was rebuilt. Smaller, simpler, without the same splendor of the past. Even so, it became the center of the people's faith. Centuries later, it was expanded and transformed into one of the greatest constructions of the ancient world. It was in this temple that crowds sought forgiveness. It was there that teachings were proclaimed, and it was there that its destruction was announced. In the year 70, the temple was completely destroyed. Only one wall remained, and a deep pain. Then Jesus made a statement that changed everything. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. He was not speaking of stones. He was speaking of lives. Today, the true temple is not made of gold or marble. It is made of hearts willing to receive God. And now I ask you, what are you building? If this message spoke to you, write in the comments, Lord, build in me. Leave a like so more people can receive this content. And watch now the next video that appears on the screen. This journey through biblical history is only just beginning.